What's going on, guys? Plastic Beach X3 back here with another One Piece commentary video, and this time it's going to be the first video that I will be doing over the top cut for Madrid, Spain's regional. A regional that occurred on October 6th over in Spain. We're going to be looking at the top 16 for this video, and of course top 8, top 4, and then finals. So today's the top 6. It's going to be Yuri on the Lucci strategy versus Francisco on the Reiju strategy. If you want to check out the full video without my commentary, please go check out MRO Gaming, subscribe to their channel. I'm going to subscribe right now. Has a disgusting, like not even close to how many subscribers they should have, so go check them out for these types of streams over in Spain. I'm assuming that's what they do. But first, let's get into the lists of Yuri and Francisco. So Francisco's Reiju List. Just looking at it overall, one thing that strikes me is only one judge. If I didn't mention already, of course, we're in the OP08 format. This is going to be the first regional over in Spain that is going to be for this format. So interesting to see what lists we will see. But otherwise, pretty generic, I guess is the word. I think nowadays cutting the 2K is generally what everyone is doing with the Porsche chopper package, and then of course like for the Black Maria, because in a lot of matchups it's just really good, like against Bonnie, Nami. I gotta be real with you, I don't really know that much about Reiju. I mean, I played it back in the day whenever it first came out for a little bit, but never really liked it, and I never really thought it was well positioned in the meta enough for me to actually test it. And I still don't. I don't think it's that good of a deck, but obviously Francisco proved me wrong. And then for the 2K is just 2 Kaya, 4 Black Maria, and then I'm assuming 4 Sora. Yep, there it is. 2 of the event I think is pretty decently standard nowadays, not only for this deck but also for Black Yellow Luffy. They have a similar card in that spot. And then I think trimming down the 3 drop, 5 drop is pretty standard. 3 pudding, I like that a lot better than 2 pudding, which I know a lot of people play. No queen, which is notable. I'm not sure if that's like standard nowadays or what, but no queen to get the draw 3 trash 1 effect and only 1 judge. So let's go into Yuri's top 16 Lucci list. Straight up 3 Spandime, which I think a lot of the better players are starting to move to. Once you realize how to play with this card, it becomes like a lot better in your hand. Is what I've heard. I'm ass with the deck, so I don't really know. Then only 2 Brook, 2 Kuzan, 1 of the Suru 2K counter, 4 of the Khalifa, 3 of the Who's Who. So we're looking at a total of 8 2K counters, which seems a little on the low side. But whatever. Only 3 Spandam, but 4 Sabo, 4 Rebecca, 4 Lucci, 4 Gecko. 1 Tech of the Monkey D. Luffy, the Zombie Luffy. 2 of the 9 drops Kaido, which is crazy to me, and then only 3 of the Jack, which is also crazy to me. But also, like I said, I don't play the Lucci deck, so I don't really know what like OP08 lists are looking like or anything. I know like the general understanding of the list, just from, you know, I'm always looking at lists at top, so, and commentating over games and playing on the Sims, so I generally know what's going on. But yeah, this one looks a little crazy to me, just to be straight up with you. I'm excited to see how Kaido plays out for them, though, and see how why they thought it was valuable over a lot of different cards, like the 4th Jack or something. So interesting to see, and I wonder why this Luffy's still in the deck. I'm assuming for Black Yellow, but I just have to assume that. I'm not sure what else. Maybe like Basil Hawkins or something, because you're not playing the finger pistols anymore. But also Jack kind of outs Basil by itself, and I don't think like Bonnie's a problem for you anyway, so you're probably not ever teching for Bonnie. So, yeah, it's interesting. Let's get into the games and see how they play out. So I'm not sure who got to choose. Whoever, of course, placed higher in top cut, not exactly sure. But Francisco's going to go first, play the stage, rest the stage, ditch the Ichiji, the best target, of course, to ditch off of the stage. And they're gonna, yeah, I mean, fair enough. He like did one of these just to see if he wants to take it. Yeah, I think, yeah, pretty good. No, but they could have another one in hand. They could have you know, a myriad of different things why they had to consider that. But yeah, it seems pretty good. And then Yuri is going to absolutely whiff off of the Spandam past turn, hitting a Kaido, Jack, Helmeppo. Francisco obviously cannot actually play the ECG this turn, but that shouldn't be an issue for them. Sorry, I got nailed with an ad there. Reiju is going to tap the stage, discard the big Reiju, and find the little Reiju. So far they're 2 for 2 on discarding and then finding the little one versions of themselves. Seems pretty good. That is one thing about Reiju, that it is, in my opinion, a very inconsistent deck. But sometimes it just do be like that. He's going to swing 6. Yuri's going to take that, and then Francisco's going to play the 2-drop, -1, play the 4-drop from the trash, and then since they minused, they can draw with their leader, and I'm assuming they had 5 or less cards at that point in time, so they could draw 2 cards. Now they are going to be going to only 4, but all 4 is all they need to play their ETG next turn. Yuri is going to go to 4 Dawn, see what they decide to do here, and of course I forgot to mention this in the beginning, but this is a best 2 out of 3 because it is top cut. I think I'm only going to commentate over top cut matches. Maybe if there's like not a top cut for a tournament, I'll do the finals or something. But I kind of want to keep it regularly, like pretty competitive around here, around on my channel. I'm actually just going to swing 9 mil 2. Okay. So Reiju's obviously going to be taking that. You know, not the worst idea against Reiju, especially if you have like a do nothing turn anyway. Instead of splitting up 5-6 to always just make sure you can get a life, because Reiju does struggle nowadays since they're not on the queen blockers and stuff. To live late in the game. They do have the choppers, of course, but you know, still, Lucci can just pop those and move on with their lives. They're going to discard another 7-drop ETG to find the 5-drop Niji. I'm going to start with a 5. I'm assuming 5, 5, 7 here. Establishing a 4 and a 7 for your opponent to out is pretty good, and they're only going to have 6 Dawn to do so. They're going to give up a 1k counter Helmeppo, and then a 1k counter Sabo. Tap 4. Play the ETG. ETG's effect, Dawn -1. Play the ETG, -2000 to the Spandam, and then leader effect, draw a card. Gonna go 7 at life with the Rush ETG. And pass turn. Seems pretty standard so far. Now what can Yuri do about this? Not a ton. Not a ton, of course. Definitely could potentially out it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Definitely could potentially out it if you have like exactly Ice Age and then Tempest Kick Lucci. So they're gonna swing 5 at life. Francisco is gonna give them the Niji, but they're going to -1 cost to the 7-drop ETG, making it a 6 cost, and then milling 2 cards. So they are going to Tempest Kick. They do have 9 cards in trash. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then the Tempest Kick will be the 10th card in the trash, so they can so they can also draw and -3 to the Reiju. Yeah, like I said, they're gonna have Tempest Kick and Ice Age to remove the whole board with the hard play Rob Lucci. So pretty nice combination of cards to have. Unfortunately, unlike RP Law, the cards do go to the trash, so Reiju can actually resummon them. But nonetheless, a gigantic tempo swing in Yuri's favor. Francisco is only going to be going to 5 Dawn here. They're going to tap the stage, discard the 3rd ETG, and find another ETG, little ETG. So we know they have an ETG and a Niji in hand. Let's see what they do. I think they have an Niji in hand unless they discarded it for counter. I'm not really sure. Yeah, I just think you have to swing 6, 7 probably. Unless you really want to hold the ETG to like kill the Lucci once it swings next turn, but like Is that ever really worth it? So they're actually gonna go with the Niji route, so I think that's pretty good. Wasn't for sure if they had that in their hand, but it seems better than Ichiji right now, so you can at least guarantee or remove a body. So they're gonna go 7. Yeah, just take a life off of Yuri, and then gonna tap 3, I assume, for this Niji. Okay. Another thing they could have done there was Porsche into Ichiji, but I think this is probably just better. Get the Lucci off the field without actually returning it to trash. Not exactly sure if they have one in trash or if it even really matters because they're only on 8 Dawn. No, it doesn't matter because they have Helmeppo in the trash. I can't tell if they have a Rob Lucci in the trash or not. I guess you just always swing 5 just to see if you can hit it. Yep. So they're going to swing 5, mill 2. They're going to hit a Brook and a Ice Age. With the Brick is really good. Because now you can now you can kill it with Gecko, Helmeppo, Rebecca. Yep. So that's what he's actually going to do here. Rebecca fetched the Brook. Brook killed the Niji. Yeah, so that Brook was pretty nice. I'm not sure if they had one at all in the trash beforehand or not. This is where black starts to get just a little bit out of hand for a lot of decks to manage, like Reiju. As long as they're killing their board every turn, then there's just not a lot of stuff that Reiju can do. Especially whenever Reiju is in general on curve plays, only summoning 1 monster a turn. Like, yeah, sometimes they can definitely like spit out a turn where they do 2, like a Reiju Ichiji or something. Like on this turn they could do that. But I would say like a vast majority of the time they're only really playing 1 monster, like 1 threat at least a turn. So they're gonna play the Niji and bounce the Rebecca, interestingly enough, and then they're gonna go 5 into what, the Brook? Yeah, the Brook. Interesting. So I'm assuming they're gonna play like Porsche Ichiji or something, and if that's the case, maybe you just play the. Wouldn't you just play the Porsche first so that you can minus with the Ichiji? Yeah, so they are gonna have the Porsche. Porsche look at top 5, down -1, whiff, which. You know, totally expected. I'm sure it happens all the time. You're only playing 2 targets, Porsche itself and the Chopper, and they're going to play the Ichiji. I think maybe, unless you just really want to get a counter out of their hand, but personally I would rather like guarantee kill the Brook and then get a near guarantee life hit. They're actually going to give up the Who's Who Rebecca to not take that life, but fair enough still. So Francisco is able to reestablish a board here. Did come at the cost of 3 Dawn though, so they're only going to go to 5 next turn. So I'm not sure. Yuri has another 8-drop Gecko, which is huge. So they do mill the Lucci. That's pretty nice for them. They're going to go 5. At life and minus. Yeah, so I don't have Gecko. I can't see if they have Spandine or not. Oh, they might have Gecko in the back there. I can't tell. So I'm going to -1 to the Ichiji, get a 1k counter Reiju. Really big think here. So they have Jack. Is that Jack? So I keep switching between the main cam and the hand cam, and then I lose the card as my eyes are moving back and forth. They're gonna go 9 into the Ichiji. So it's a pretty safe 2K, 1K. So I think it is Jack, so they're going to Ice Age and then Jack this Ichiji. Which obviously the issue there is that you're still looking at a 5/6. Sorry, I had to cough. But as I was saying, oh, so they're not going to Jack. Okay, I thought they were going to Jack the Ichiji. It looks like he's actually just going to Rebecca into Brooke. What, Ice Age Rebecca into Brooke or something? Yep, so they're gonna Ice Age Rebecca Brooke. And then just play a Kuzan, draw a card. Pass the turn with the Dawn up. Okay, so essentially did the same thing as like playing Jack. Same like value-wise, and it's, you know, they put 2 cards on the board, but a blocker, replaced one of them, similar to how Jack does, or like the card advantage you would have gained with Jack, which is, you know, you don't need me to count cards for you. Francisco is going to discard the chopper for the event, for the stage, and then find the 4-drop, the last 4-drop. I think the last. Maybe I'm wrong, but find a 4-drop Ichiji. Pretty nice here to do so. Francisco's gonna go 5 into life with the Porsche. It might have been 5 of Brooke, I don't know, because he gave a 2K counter. Gonna go 6. It's actually gonna take that one. And then gonna do another 6, and I'm assuming a 7, so they're just gonna easy 2K out of there, and then they can 7, or they can block the 7 with Rebecca. And I'm just not sure what else Francisco could do. I think this game is playing out exactly how Yuri wants it to. Yep, just gonna block with Rebecca, pass turn. Yuri's gonna start with a 5. Potentially at the Porsche. Gonna mill 2 and then -1 cost to Ichiji. They're actually gonna swing at life, and that's gonna be met with a take by Francisco. And they're going to trigger the 1-drop event to draw a card. Okay, and then a 5 with the Brook, minusing 1 to the Niji, making it a 4, so you get a 4 and a 6. And then Kuzan. Yeah, Kuzan, Gecko into Helmeppo, Rebecca nonsense can clean up the Ichiji, Niji. So they're just going to go 6 with the Kuzan. I'm still not sure if they have Gecko or not, but, you know, something like that. Like Helmeppo, Tempest Kick, Lucci, or something. So they're going to swing 6 into life with the Kuzan, -4 cost to the Ichiji, making it a 2 cost. So there's a 2 cost. So there's a 2 cost, a 4 cost, and a 3 cost on the field. They can play the Gecko, get the Helmeppo back, -3 to the Niji. So, you know, 2 and a 1. So they actually are going to swing 6 into the Porsche. I think that's a smart play, just so you can guarantee its death with either that or the Gecko Moria. And they do have the second Helmeppo in trash, so this play is possible. They're going to replace the Brook Helmeppo with Helmeppo Rebecca, Helmeppo on the Niji, and then Rebecca play the Spandine. Spandine return 3 CPs. To play the Rob Lucci that they milled earlier with their leader effect. Lucci effect return 3 cards. To KO the Ichiji and Niji, pass turn, and it looks like it's all but over. Like I said earlier, Gecko's a busted card, you know what I mean? I mean, there's not much else to say about it. Francisco's gonna use his stage effect again, this time discarding, I believe, the 4th copy of the 7-drop Ichiji. Gonna take the Niji. Gonna search with the 1-drop event and just not gonna hit anything relevant. Gonna find the Reiju. I'm not sure there's anything relevant in the deck, maybe besides like the 1-drop 2K counter so that you can grab back the Ichiji from the trash or something. But even then, you gotta face down the Rebecca, and it's just never gonna happen. Francisco's gonna swing 5, get the Brook out of hand, and then play Niji. Niji effect can, I don't know, maybe bounce this Lucci or something. Or Kuzan. So that your board can potentially live to go for game next turn. But even then, I'm not sure you make it out of this turn. So they're gonna Reiju into Reiju. Gonna be able to draw 2 cards there. And then pass turn. Yeah, so they're just going to go 9 to start. See what the opponent's got for them. Get a 2-2-1. Another 9. Pretty good. Get another 2-2-1. Now they're down to 1 card in hand. A 7 will take it, and then a 9 will take it from there. So we'll go into game 2. Just not much that Francisco could do there. Seems like Yuri just opened broke, and whenever Lucci opens broke, there's not much any deck can do, unfortunately. And they open broke too many times. Too many times. Too often. Too often. So it looks like Francisco is actually gonna get the choice here. Interested to see what they choose. I'm assuming second, but yeah, they chose second. Yuri's going to play the Spandam and find the Tempest Kick. Pass turn. Francisco's going to have the stage once again with the Ichiji once again. Pretty nice, pretty nice. Going to find the Reiju this time. And pass turn. Oh no, they're actually going to play the event now. Fair enough. Going to find another Ichiji. Actually going to find all three of the big ones. So if they don't have Reiju, you just take that one, I assume. They must have it, so they're going to take the Niji. Just to get into rotation, I assume. I think we're going to see an 8 at life here. Yep. And get a mill 2, hit a Gecko and a Kuzan. We'll take that. Pass turn. I think in this spot, you just, if you have it, just go 5-7 with the Ichiji. Not sure if they have it though. They're gonna take the little Niji off the stage search. So they don't have it. They're just gonna tap. They're gonna swing 5 to start. Yeah, you just always counter that because you know you expect the 7 coming behind it, so they're going to counter out of that, and then going to play the Reiju actually -1 to play the big Reiju from hand, so that they can get below, so they can get to 5, so they can draw 2 and then draw 1 with leader effect, and then going to play the Chopper, gain back the Dawn they just minused, because they're at equal to Dawn than their opponent. So Lucci's going to swing 5 at life, -1 to the Chopper. Oh, okay, so I would potentially just block with Chopper, but okay, that's fair enough. They're just going to Sabo. I guess that's fair. Fair. Gets a Reiju and trash, and he also gets the hand count lower so that you can do Reiju again later. So the Sabo is going to come down, filter out the hand. We're going to discard Kaido and Sabo. Now Francisco actually gets to go to 6 Dawn this turn. The Chopper is not -1 anymore, so the dice should not be on it, but fair enough. They're going to activate the event, try to find that Ichiji, and just don't. So they're going to take the big Ichiji here so they can discard it off the stage and then get another search, get 3 more cards deep. There it is. There's 2 of them actually. So they're going to take that Ichiji finally. Oh my goodness. Alright. So he's going to finally find the 4-drop Ichiji. A little late, but no harm, no foul, you know what I mean? Nah, he just could have saw it 1 turn earlier. It would have been pretty nice, but that's fine. He's going to go 5 into life, potentially bait out the Sabo. You know, a less skilled player would probably, you know, think about blocking here, but as everyone who's at top 16 at a regional knows, that's just going to be met with an Ichiji -2000, swing 6-7 into the Sabo. So let's see what they do here. I take it back. Maybe they're okay with the Sabo blocking 2 hits, which is also just fine. Also why I'm not at the top 16 tables, and they are. They're going to play Ichiji, of course, -1. Play the Ichiji -2000 to the Sabo, and then swing 6-7. Or, you know, play an event or something. Going to swing 6 into the Sabo. That'll die, so it did block 2 hits, which I guess is fair. And they are sitting at 5 life, so like no biggie, no real biggie. Plus, like, Sabo's not doing too much for you on the board. It's just like a random blocker. So, you know, got value out of it. Yuri's going to go to 7 Dawn. Looks like an awkward hand. I don't believe they have a Jack, and even if they did, it wouldn't do much for him besides just kill the Reiju. Two Geckos in trash. It's unfortunate, but you know, it is an unsearchable boss monster. So that's going to happen. They're going to play Tempest Kick, draw a card, and then -3 cost. To the Reiju, making it a 1-drop. Could just hard play a Lucci here and kill both the Reiju and the Chopper, but actually just going to swing 6, mill 2, -1 to the Chopper. One of those mills is going to be the 3rd Gecko Moria. And they're just going to finally take that block because no way you don't, because obviously just a slam Lucci will kill both characters. So that Chopper has got value finally, and then they're going to play a Sabo. Not going to be able to remove any board here, unfortunately, for Yuri, but hopefully next turn they'll have enough Dawn to work with that they can start that whole process. So Francisco's going to have to take this opportunity to really spam the board so that they can live through the next couple turns. Put enough pressure on the opponent, etc., etc. Going to activate the stage here, discard the Reiju. Fine as the only target and Ichiji. Francisco's going to go 5 into life. Seal to take the free block with the Sabo again. They do. At least he's thinking about it. Yeah, so he does. Okay. Gonna tap another 4 for a second Ichiji. Ichiji into Ichiji. Draw for Reiju, -2000 to the Sabo. Goes 6 into the Sabo. Hold up 2 for a baby Reiju, I presume. Or as I like to call it, pot of greed. And then we can see a 7/7 to life. Take the first 7, potentially counter out of the second. They do hit a Jack off of that first 7. And then on the second, they're going to give him a Khalifa and Spandine. And actually going to play the Chopper. Fair enough. Put a blocker on the field. While also getting back to Dawn. To your Dawn curve. Yuri is only sitting at 9 Dawn here. They can Ice Age Gecko something, or like Ice Age Rebecca or something. They're gonna mill the last Gecko off of their leader effect. Unfortunate. So we know Gecko is not being summoned this turn, that's for sure. Unless they're hiding that 5th copy in there, which, you know, sometimes I wonder with how often they open that card. No, just kidding. They're going to Ice Age. One of the Ichijis making it a 1 cost, and then going to play Jack for 7. Jack is going to draw a card, discard a card, going to discard... I'm not sure, I can't tell. The Spandine and then kill the Ichiji. Pass turn. Not looking good for Yuri here. but you know, anything's possible. Only 10 minutes left in the round. Really? Yeah, I guess they started with 60 minutes. Francisco is going to swing 5-5, get a counter, get another 2K counter, and they're just going to judge. Okay, fair enough. So judge is going to don -1, discard 2, discard an Ichiji and a chopper to play the Niji, replace the Reiju with Ichiji, and then replace the chopper with Reiju. Our leader ability, draw a card for the don- of the judge, and then don- for the Reiju. Reiju effect, draw 2 cards. And then don- for the Ichiji. Ichiji effect, give Jack -2000 for the turn. Go ahead and swing 8 into 6. That'll die. And the Niji effect, don -1. Play the big Niji, pop the Spandam. And still be able to go 7 of life with the other Ichiji. Take that, no trigger, hit a Lucci. And then going to use stage ability, discard another stage, find and Niji, pass turn. And I think that's pretty much game. I can't imagine that Yuri does anything about this board, especially with all 4 geckos in the trash. There's not much to be done about it. They do have Rebecca, so like, you know, Rebecca's a busted card. You know, anything can happen. They can like Ice Age Lucci, Ice Age, you know, Tempest Kick into an Ice Age, double Ice Age Lucci or something. Like swing huge into the Ichiji, but I mean, catch your opponent with no counter when they have like 7 cards in hand. Gonna swing 5 at life though, -1 cost. Now, seeing these types of situations, I'm just scooping, especially if I'm Lucci. Lucci is very favored in time rules. One, whenever time's called or like the turns are up, Lucci is generally just able to, like, assuming tie, like life is always an option. They do have a lot of blockers, but life is always the first one. But then whenever you get to the second one with like characters on board, it's Lucci. Like they can just kill characters. So if it's a contest of more characters on board, they're just inherently favored because of their deck. And then if it's a contest of how many cards are in deck, they can just filter cards back with Lucci and Spandine. So like, you know, there's 2 aspects there that their deck kind of plays off of. So I'm if I'm a Lucci player, I'm like thinking like, okay, I'm favored in time. I might as well scoop a losing matchup, just so I don't get burned in time by some random bull crap. But they're actually going to Ice Age into a Rebecca, into Spandine, into Khalifa. Khalifa, draw 2 cards and then -2 cost to something. Going to draw Kaido and Helmeppo. Or discard Kaido Helmeppo. And then going to -2 more cost. Oh no, so they never played the Ice Age, okay. Oh no, they did. They played the Ice Age on the Reiju. Okay. So they could only get Niji down to 2 cost, of course. I'm just going to pass turn from there after hard playing the Lucci to kill the Reiju Niji. Oh my gosh. Absolutely dropped my phone. Yes, yeah, if I'm looking at like 3 minutes on the clock, I'm just thinking maybe I should scoop. But maybe not. Maybe we'll see how it plays out. But he's just going to go 7, 7, 7, 10. and that'll be it. So we'll go into the third game here with very little time on the clock and see how it plays out. You know what? I'm not skipping this one. Or I'm not. Stop recording for this one. Okay. So, alright. Yeah, 1 minute left in time. So we'll see who wins this one. We're obviously going to be going to turns here. Yuri, I assume, is going to go second. Francisco's going to pass, doesn't have the stage or the event. Yuri will pass as well, doesn't have the span dam. Francisco's going to swing 5, we'll give him a 1k counter. Now, you know, now that you're in time, you can't really be taking silly life like that. So they have officially hit time, so I believe that Francisco will be turn 0. So they're going to play Porsche, minus, whiff, and then draw a card off Reiju, play the Niji. Niji -1 to play Big Niji, pass turn. So looking pretty good for Francisco so far. He has more characters on board. He's going to be presenting a bigger pressure to life. However, he does start with 1 less life. So that is a thing to consider. And of course, they don't have to play the whole 10 minutes. It's just whoever is done after turn 3. Whoever has higher life after that will win. So Yuri's going to swing 5 here. No effect as to keep cards in their deck. For the time rules, of course. Going to get a 1k counter and then play Rebecca. Take the Spandam. So they're playing to the ultimate time strategy, as you can see. They're just going to try and not take any life, and since the opponent is on 4 life, you know, pretty good strategy. And as most people know, this is Francisco's last turn. This is turn 2. So then Yuri gets to go as turn 3. That'll be the last turn of the entire game. So as long as Yuri can stay above, essentially stay above, you know, they just counter out of 1 hit here, they're fine. As long as they can counter out of 1 hit, they're fine, which they will. At that point, you counter out of 1, you stay at, like, let's just assume you can't counter out of 2, which they can, but let's just assume you can't counter out of 2, and you have to Rebecca take counter. Then you just pile everything on leader, hope to kill him, or hope to, you know, get a damage off or something. Or, you know, just stack your board full because you know it's going to go to a tie. So you're going to go 7, and it's just not going to work out for him. Unfortunately, no matter how they do this, because they're only at 3 Dawn. Maybe if they were at the starting, like, normal 5, they could get there, but Reiju being Reiju, they just cannot get 2 life off of him right now. And it's the only opportunity they're going to have. So they're going to go 6, and that's a counter, and then a 6, and that's 2 counters, so that's game right there. It'll go back to Yuri. Yuri will pass turn with his last turn being turn 3, and they're going to win because they have more life. That's the game. That's the risk of playing with a 4-life leader, unfortunately. So, you know, if you never played in time like that before, I guess that's a good teacher moment right there. But that's how you do it. And that's how the game's designed. You know, can't criticize Yuri for playing like that. That's how the game is played. I mean, that's the rules. He's playing within the rules. I see it as a fair, and honestly, you could tell that he's been in these situations before. You can tell that he's tested in time, which is very important if you're wanting to do really well at these big tournaments. But yeah, let's get into the list one more time. Yuri's top 16 Madrid list. We might see him later on. I'm not sure what the features look like for later, but he's obviously made it to top 8. Congratulations to him. And also congratulations to Francisco for taking his 1-judge Reiju deck all the way to top 16 of a very big regional. Very cool. And congratulations. And GG to all those guys. Make sure to subscribe to PolyCBGX3 for more One Piece videos, and peace out.